Hey, kind of a weird question for you. What grade were you in where your teacher was a different race than you? It's kind of weird to think about, right? Well, depending on where you live, you're exposed to a certain amount of cultures and you're exposed to certain different types of people. And unfortunately, for a lot of us, we're just not exposed to as many cultures as we should be. Still, as believers, as followers of Jesus, we believe that everyone was made in the image of God. And God's good news, His gospel, should be proclaimed to all kinds of people all over the earth. So we are witnesses to the world, to people that are like us and to people that are not like us. In Acts chapter 10, we see Peter preaching to all different kinds of people that were not like him. And he calls himself a witness, and he says this in the scripture itself. He says that he's a witness that everyone who believes in him receives forgiveness of sins through his name. And he's talking about Jesus there. And so there was nothing about race, there's nothing about culture that Peter said. He said that what unites us is God's grace towards us. Everyone who believes in Jesus has forgiveness of sins. And so there's two main groups of people that Peter is talking to. You have the Jews, who are descendants of Abraham, and they have a covenant, a relationship with God because of the laws that they keep. And then you have the Gentiles. These are the Greeks. These are people from other nations and other countries, from other parts of the world, who don't know who Jesus is, who don't follow the Hebrew law, who don't follow the Old Testament. Yet, Peter is preaching to both of them. And in this story, people on both sides hear the gospel, accept it, and follow Jesus. That's the good news that we believe, that the God who saves people in Africa is the same God who saves us. The same God who saves the underground church in China saves us. The same God who saves the messed up person, the person that we think doesn't deserve to be saved, saves us too. The one thing that unites all of this is what we believe about Jesus' death and resurrection. Jesus paid for our sin, took our punishment, and gave us new life. Not because of what we look like on the outside or what cultural groups we belong to, but because of His love towards us. So change your perspective. You are not the most important person in the universe. Your culture and your people are not the most important cultures and people in the universe. The country that you live in is not the most important country in the universe. What matters most is how we respond to the witness of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection. So pray for your friends, pray for your enemies, and guess what? Talk to both of them. Make an effort to show Jesus to the people around you and to the people who are not like you. That is how the gospel moves forward.